What's the most dangerous job you can think of? A firefighter, a bomb disposal expert, a high-altitude window cleaner? Well, today we're diving deep into a profession that combines the dangers of commercial diving with the hazards of high-voltage electricity and molten metal. We're talking about underwater welding. It's often called one of the most dangerous jobs on the planet. But here's the kicker. It can also be one of the most lucrative. Some elite welders can earn up to $30,000 in a single month. So, what exactly makes this job so risky, and why does it pay so well? Would you have the guts to take on this challenge? Stick around as we explore the high-stakes, high-reward world of underwater welding. First things first, what does an underwater welder actually do? Imagine being hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface, surrounded by crushing pressure and near-freezing temperatures. Your job is to repair massive structures like oil rigs, pipelines, ships, and underwater dams. You're using equipment that generates thousands of degrees of heat to melt steel, all while completely submerged. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? But it's a very real and very necessary job. The global economy relies on maritime infrastructure, and when something breaks down there, you can't just drain the ocean to fix it. That's where these brave professionals come in. They are the essential maintenance crew for the submerged parts of our world. There are two main types of underwater welding: wet welding and dry welding. Wet welding is exactly what it sounds like. The welder is directly in the water, using a specially designed waterproof electrode. This method is faster and more flexible, but it's also more dangerous, and the quality of the weld is untoy as strong due to the rapid cooling effect of the water. Think of it as the quick-fix solution for less critical repairs. The real magic, and the real money, is in dry welding, also known as hyperbaric welding. For this, a sealed, pressurized chamber is placed around the area that needs to be repaired. The water is pumped out, creating a dry environment for the welder to work in. This allows for high-quality welds, similar to those done on the surface, but it comes with its own set of unique dangers. Let's break down the risks, because there are a lot of them. The most immediate danger is, of course, drowning. A ruptured airline, a faulty helmet, or getting trapped can be a death sentence. Then there's the risk of electric shock. You're using high-amperage electrical equipment in a conductive environment. Water, a tiny leak in your gear, or a moment of carelessness can be fatal. Explosions are another major concern. The welding process produces hydrogen and oxygen gas, which can build up in pockets and create a highly explosive mixture. A single spark outside the immediate weld area could trigger a devastating blast. It's like working next to an invisible bomb. But the dangers don't stop there. We have to talk about the pressure. Working at depth means dealing with immense water pressure, which can lead to a condition called decompression sickness, or the bends. If a diver ascends to the surface too quickly, nitrogen bubbles can form in their bloodstream and tissues, causing excruciating pain, paralysis, or even death. To avoid this, divers have to follow strict decompression schedules, often spending hours slowly ascending or living in a pressurized saturation chamber for weeks at a time on a job site. This process, known as saturation diving, allows them to work at extreme depths for extended periods. They live and breathe in a habitat filled with a mixture of helium and oxygen, under the same pressure as their work depth. It's a surreal existence, completely isolated from the outside world. Life in a saturation chamber is like living in a tin can with a few other people for up to 28 days straight. Your voice sounds comically high-pitched because of the helium in the air, and your food has to be passed through a small medical lock. You can't just step outside for some fresh air. You are completely at the mercy of the life support team on the surface. This prolonged exposure to high pressure takes a huge toll on the body and can have long-term health consequences. On top of all that, you've got poor visibility, strong currents, marine life that might not be too happy about you being in their territory, and the constant physical and mental strain of working in such an extreme environment. It's not a job for the faint of heart. So, with all these life-threatening risks, why would anyone choose to do this? The answer, for many, is the incredible pay. A starting underwater welder might make a decent salary, but experienced saturation divers are in a league of their own. Their income isn't a steady yearly salary. It's project-based. A single, complex job lasting a month or two could net a welder a six-figure payday. The figure of $30,000 a month isn't an exaggeration for top-tier saturation welders working on challenging deep-sea projects. The pay is so high because the pool of qualified individuals is incredibly small. It takes years of rigorous training, first as a commercial diver, then as a welder, and finally specializing in underwater techniques. You need to be in peak physical and mental condition, incredibly detail-oriented, and have nerves of steel. The industry simply has to offer massive compensation to attract the few people on Earth who are capable and willing to do this work. Let's talk about that path. You don't just wake up one day and decide to be an underwater welder. The journey is long and demanding. First, you need to become a certified commercial diver, which involves months of intense training at a specialized school. You'll learn everything from underwater physics and medicine to equipment, maintenance, and emergency procedures. After that, you need to become a certified topside welder, mastering various welding techniques on dry land. Only then can you combine the two skill sets and attend an underwater welding program. Even after all that training, you'll start at the bottom, likely as a diver's tender, assisting experienced divers before you ever get to strike your first arc underwater. It's a career built on apprenticeship and years of hard-won experience. Every dive is a lesson, and every job adds to your reputation. The work itself is incredibly varied. One day you might be inspecting the hull of a supertanker in a busy port. The next, you could be flown by helicopter to a remote oil rig in the middle of a stormy sea to perform an emergency pipeline repair 500 feet down. The location and complexity of the job are huge factors in determining your pay. A shallow, inshore job in calm waters will pay significantly less than a deep-water saturation dive in the North Sea. The offshore jobs, particularly in the oil and gas industry, are where the big money is. These are the jobs that require saturation, diving, and carry the highest risks, but also the greatest rewards. It's a world of extremes, where months of downtime can be followed by a few weeks of intense, highly profitable work. So, do you have what it takes? It's more than just being a good swimmer or a skilled welder. It requires a unique psychological profile. You need to be calm under immense pressure, both literally and figuratively. You must be methodical, patient, and able to solve complex problems on the fly with limited resources. You need to trust your team and your equipment with your life, and they need to be able to trust you. It's a job that demands absolute professionalism and a deep respect for the unforgiving environment you're reworking in. It's a brotherhood, a small community of professionals who understand the risks they take and the importance of the work they do. The world of underwater welding is a fascinating blend of danger, skill, and incredible financial reward. These individuals are the unsung heroes of our modern infrastructure, working in conditions most of us can barely imagine. They perform a vital service, ensuring the ships that carry our goods, the rigs that provide our energy, and the bridges we cross are safe and sound. So the next time you see a massive ship or an offshore oil rig, take a moment to think about the elite divers and welders working silently beneath the waves, risking everything to keep our world running. It's a tough job, but someone has to do it. The question is, could that someone be you? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into one of the world's most extreme professions. If you found this fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content about incredible jobs and the people who do them. Let us know in the comments what other high-stakes jobs you'd like us to cover. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.